This hike takes you across some of the most memorable landscapes in the northern Sahyadri, including the Gadgada Fort, Dangya Pinnacle, and the vast plateau of Anjaneri. Before I get into today's video, I need to set some context. I went on a 2000-kilometer expedition to hike along the length of the Sahyadri mountain range. Over 70 days, I crossed beautiful ridges, magical forests, epic valleys, historical forts, and remote villages. For generations, hikers have explored this landscape, yet no single route connected the entire mountain range. So I set out to change that and created the Epic Sahyadri Trail. Hiking 2000 kilometers was actually the easier part. After the expedition, my team and I at HikeX spent 2000 hours documenting everything, designing the most logical route through the landscape, creating 3D map animations, and correcting GPX tracks. We mapped the trail digitally and wrote detailed trail documentation. All this work is made possible with the help of our incredible partners who believed in our vision of creating India's first long-distance trail and stood behind the effort to transform that vision into a living national asset. With their support, we have created this walkthrough series to make the trail easier to understand so that you can experience this incredible landscape with the right information, knowledge, and confidence. Now, Epic Sahyadri Trail or EST is entirely located in the state of Maharashtra, running north to south through the Sahyadri mountain range. It is divided into 11 sections, which are further divided into smaller stages so that you can hike the entire trail one stage at a time. Today's route lies in the North Vaitarna section, which has a total of 4 stages. In this video, we'll understand stage 1 of the Epic Sahyadri Trail. I'll break down whether this stage is right for you or not, followed by a complete route walkthrough covering topography, navigation tips, hazards, risk assessment, exit options, and how to get there. Let's get started. Before I explain the route, let's discuss if this route is suitable at your skill level or not. The terrain on this stage shifts dramatically from open plateaus to steep rock cut steps and obscure gullies. You'll have to hike on thin trails hidden by tall grass, making offline navigation an absolute necessity. There are ascents and descents that demand proper technical footing, so mastering these movements is critical before attempting this route. The stage begins at the village of Gadgad Sanghvi. The trailhead, the point where the trail formally begins, is 2 kilometers north of the village. You can leave a vehicle at the trailhead if you're driving in through the road to the trailhead. From the trailhead, the trail climbs to the Anjani Mata Mandir through a series of rock-cut steps. On this ascent, going up is easier than coming down. You'll require the 4-point technique, using your hands on rock alongside your feet to distribute weight. The descent will need you to be more careful. The steps ends at the base of Gadgada Fort's rock face. The temple here can serve as a rain shelter when clouds move in. To reach the top of Gadgada Fort, you will need to crawl east along the temple wall where you will find a series of iron rods set into the vertical rock face. These rods are not anchored. They sit in grooves cut into the rock. A fall from here can be fatal. When the rock is wet, these rods offer less grip. At the top of the fort, there are water cisterns, but the water in them is not quotable. Attempt this section only if you have a rock scrambling experience, and skip it entirely if you have acrophobia. Climb only if you are comfortable at an exposed rock face with loose anchors. If you're wondering whether the fort climb is worth the risk, it is not. The best of this stage is still ahead. Once you climb back down to the mandir, the vertical sections are done. Start walking towards west, and the terrain changes entirely, from steep and technical to a long, flat walk along the base of the rock face. This kind of walking is called contouring, moving across a mountain slope at a constant elevation, neither gaining nor losing height. The path heads towards a saddle, the low point between two ridges between Gadgada and Aghera Hill. From the saddle, the trail goes 3 kilometers across the flat plateau of Dangya Pinnacle. Expect sections of tall grass on this stretch. In the grass, you will find kusad, Marathi for spear grass, which is found across the Sahyadri post monsoon, recognizable by the sharp spear heads that work their way into shoe fabric and socks. Trail gators do not stop kusal. The best way to deal with them is to stay on the trail and keep moving forward with a steady pace. There is one water spring between the Mandir and Dangya Pinnacle. A small mud boundary is built by shepherds that keeps it from silting over. You will find a plastic cup sitting at the edge. That cup is not garbage. The cup is proof that shepherds actively use this spring because they don't carry water bottles. They drink directly from this cup. This spring holds water until the end of January. Since the trail runs along the plateau, you will get consistent mobile signal for most of this stretch. Until now in this video, did you notice something? Many people think of hiking as just a physical activity. In reality, it's also a skill based activity. Can you choose a trek that's right for your experience level? Can you plan it, navigate it, and adapt when things don't go according to plan? Can you move safely and efficiently through unfamiliar terrain? These skills are the foundation of safe and confident hiking. That's exactly why we created the hiking field course. It's a 7-day immersive outdoor program where participants learn 16 essential hiking skills through hands on field training in real outdoor environments. This course is for beginners interested in hiking as well as for hikers who want to take on bigger and more challenging adventures. Since 2021, hundreds of participants from different age groups, professions, and fitness levels have completed the course and gone on to explore the outdoors with greater confidence. The hiking field course brings together skills that most hikers learn one at a time into one single structured learning experience. Learning these skills opens the door to trails and experiences that would otherwise remain out of reach. If you'd like to learn more, you'll find details on the link below. Now, let's get back to the trail. Dangya Pinnacle comes into view from far out and stays visible for most of the approach. The trail wraps around the base of the pinnacle and then climbs up towards it from the south side, and then continues to descend on the other side. The base of the pinnacle has a loose surface, so use a trekking pole to reduce the risk of slipping. Dangya is a technical climbing destination that requires rope and anchor skills. The EST route goes to the base of the pinnacle and continues west. The name comes from a local belief. There is a small crack in the rock from which a cup of water can be drawn, and this water is said to cure Dangya Khokla, meaning chronic cough in Marathi. The upper part of Dangya Pinnacle has active beehives. Even at the base, keep your voice down, do not wear perfume, and do not rest directly below the overhang. Bees respond to vibration and scent. Just move through steadily and they will leave you alone. Past Dangya, the trail becomes easier but still has so much to offer. The next 3 kilometers of plateau walking to Sulichi Khind have nothing that most hikers walk straight past. By the way, a Khind is a mountain pass, the low point between two ridge lines where the trail crosses from one side to the other. At Sulichi Khind, look for a small wooden tribal shrine. There is an ancient carvings on the tablet. They predate any formal trail marking in this landscape, and there is no signage present that explains them. The next section mixes plateau and forest trail to Paanch Payare Khind. Paanch Payare means 5 steps in Marathi. There are 5 rock-cut steps at this saddle, which is how it got the name. There is another ancient tribal shrine here, or in Sindoor, a peacock wing, shells, coins. The offerings at this saddle show how regularly local people move through here. This is not an abandoned trail. Locals use it constantly. Just before Majpayre Khind, there is a second spring. When you are refilling from springs like this, clear the water surface layer first. Then fill slowly without disturbing the base. If the mud at the bottom swirls and the water clouds up, then wait 15 minutes for it to settle. Whatever is left in the cup, do not pour it back in. It will unsettle the same mud for the next person. From Panchpayare Khind, the route makes an out and back, meaning the trail goes to a destination and returns back to the same path and then continues forward. This out and back trail goes to Anjini Mata Mandir on the Anjaneri Plateau. Hike north and walk 3 kilometers across the plateau to reach the temple. As per local belief, this is the birthplace of Lord Hanuman. Inside the temple, he is depicted in his mother's lap. Locals hike up from nearby villages with flowers and garlands they collect from the hillside on the way up. You'll pass them on the trail. Adjacent to the temple is a small dhaba where you can get water and snacks. They accept online payment, but the mobile signal is only available near the western edge of the plateau. Geo works more reliably than other networks up there. Camping on the plateau is not permitted under the forest rules. But is this extra 6 kilometers even worth it? Yes. The plateau up there is distinct from the main route, and the temple has a quiet presence that nothing else on this stage has. Complete the out and back and return to Paanch Payare Khind. The high ground is behind you now, but the trail doesn't get easy. The split southwest from the Khind takes you straight into a gully which widens at the base of a rock face. A gully is a narrow channel with steep sides, formed on a hillside mostly by water erosion. The descent down the gully is steady. The bamboo canopy will show up in front of you without warning, and then within a few minutes, the bamboo opens into farmlands at the edge of the Pahine village. That's the main route end to end. Although this stage starts and ends at villages, it has 5 exits. And knowing them changes how you plan the day. 2 of these exits are mapped, and other 3 are unmapped. A mapped trail is a route that has been walked, verified, recorded digitally, and uploaded to a trail database, making offline navigation accessible to any hiker with a cell phone. An unmapped trail exists on the ground but has not been verified and digitized. The first mapped exit is the Bhokarwadi village. The second is Anjaneri village. These are the 2 most used routes for both locals and hikers. Both work as entry or exit points. The 3 unmapped exits connect to Dahigaon, Sapriwadi, and Muthaiwadi. There is one side trail on this stage, an 8-kilometer out and back with 300 meters of gain to Ranjanagiri Fort, starting from the Bokarwadi village. The trail climbs on an open ridgeline towards a spouted pitcher shaped hill called Ranjan in Marathi, which gives the fort its name. There are rock cut steps to the top and one water system. The northernmost section of this side trail is in a reed, a narrow, exposed rock face that drops away sharply on both the sides. It channels sharp gusts of wind. One navigation note specific to this side trail is that in the offline navigation apps, you will see a visible gap in the trail. That gap is not a mapping mistake, it is a vertical drop. It is not possible to accurately represent such sharp drops on a 10-meter contour interval map. Every stage of the Epic Sahyadri Trail starts and ends in a village. That's not a coincidence. It's how the trail is designed. Sleeping in temples, schools, and on someone's porch is common on the EST. One tip that you should know is the bus hike bus system. Here's how it works. On day 1, take a state transport bus, also called the ST bus, and reach your start village by evening. Stay there for the night. The next morning, start early. Hike the stage during the day. Reach the next village by evening. Now you have 2 choices. If you want to exit, stay the night and catch the first morning bus out of the village. If you want to continue, stay the night and continue your hike the following morning. That's the system. No car, no expensive taxi, no complicated planning. Just move one village at a time. And the best part, it works across most of the EST because almost all the villages have a daily state transport bus. And if there is no bus or the timing does not work, hitchhiking is also common along the Epic Sahyadri Trail route. The EST can be hiked from June through January. These 8 months are not one season. They are 2 different trail experiences. June to September is monsoon. The hills are green, waterfalls are active, and clouds sit low on the ridgeline. When the trail is wet on this stage, technique matters more than your fitness. October to January, the rain stops. The landscapes loses its green, but the trail surfaces firms up. Visibility opens and the route becomes much more readable. What you gain in accessibility, you trade in water. Springs on this stage dry out by the end of January, so carry enough water from each confirmed source to the next one. Now, documenting a trail is never a one time effort. Every season brings new observations from the field. Access changes, conditions shift, and routes are remapped. If you're planning to hike this stage or take on the entire EST, here are a few resources to help you out. For the latest route updates, access information, and stage wise documentation, visit the HikeX website. You can download the verified GPX tracks for free to study the trail at home and later use it to navigate offline. We have also put together gear recommendations to help you avoid costly mistakes and focus on what actually matters. And if you'd like to go deeper, the EST guidebook covers a lot more details that will enrich your hiking experience. You can also join the HikeX community to connect with other hikers, share knowledge, and support our efforts to map, document, and improve the hiking infrastructure across India. And finally, since satellite communication devices are not permitted in India, we have created Auto SOS. It can automatically notify your emergency contacts if you don't return on time from your adventure. It is available for free. You'll find links to all of these resources in the description below. I've shared everything I've learned to help you plan, prepare, and hike the trail. Now it's your turn to put all this knowledge into practice and experience the incredible landscapes waiting for you. These videos take a lot of time and effort to make, so share them with your friends and subscribe to the channel. It helps us keep creating more videos like this to help you hike better and safer.